the Ring Fanatics Podcast, episode number 23. I'm Nick, as always, your host, and with me, as always, is my co-host Joel Otero. Today, before we get into the episode, as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Less than 20 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet and listening to this, make sure you go subscribe, and we get more subscribers up there. And also subscribe to our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Go ahead and follow our social medias on there to keep updated with the podcast. Today is our Elimination Chamber prediction episode, and we have a guest joining us today. He
Very
is
special guest.
Very special, exactly. He is the host of Rewind Recap Relive. Jonah, how are you, man? How's everything?
I'm doing great. It's a great day. Well, actually, it's snowing. It's not too good outside, but it's good in here. We got a good show going on. I've heard the mind of Joel before on some collaborations we've done, and he's got some creative predictions. So I can't wait to hear those. And Nick, you are a fantastic host as well. So thank you both for having me on.
Thank you for those kind words. We always talk
Yes.
about our creative ideas.
Always, yeah.
all the time. But thank you for joining again. For all of our prediction episodes, I'm just going to run down the card. We're all going to give our thoughts. We're going to have thoughts on the winners for each match. This Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is kind of short. It's a very small card at the moment. I know today is Friday. This is recorded before SmackDown, so we might have more matches announced tonight on SmackDown. But as of right now, we only have 4 matches, which is kind of strange. We usually see more. Lately, it's been a lot shorter matches. I know last pay-per-view was Royal Rumble, which both of them took over an hour each, so that wasted some time, but it's been kind of short in general. So I guess we could just get started with the first match. The first match, the United States Championship triple threat match. We got Bobby Lashley defending his title against Keith Lee and Riddle. So since you're our guest, Jonah, I guess we could start with this one. Who do you have winning this match? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think Lashley will retain it and be as dominant, or do you think Riddle can get his chance in winning it, or maybe have a Keith Lee ruin Riddle's chance in winning it himself?
If I had to go just like off the top of my head with the way I've been seeing them build Lashley, because right now Lashley, he's in my like top 5 every single week. Like when I watch Lashley's so dominant, he's so strong. It's been a while since I've seen someone add so much legitimacy, not only to the title, but just like as his character overall. He's just so intense. So personally, I think they could easily have Lashley drop the title, not take the pin, have Riddle maybe take the pin and have Keith Lee win it, or vice versa. Whichever one of them wins it, I feel like they could have a great Mania match with each other for the belt again. And Lashley honestly could go fight Drew. That's what I'm saying, because a lot of people wanted Lashley to win the Rumble, and I could see Lashley dropping the title. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but dropping the title, I see Lashley going to Mania to fight Drew for the championship, and I see Riddle and Lee kind of staying at it. I wouldn't mind seeing a ladder match. I know that's usually for the IC title, but I wouldn't mind seeing like more people added into the fray as we get closer to Mania. So yeah, I see Lashley dropping this title, but not taking the pin. Keeping the dominance. Yeah.
Okay, I can see that happening too. What do you got, Joel? Who do you got this pick? How do you see it happening? Going down?
I agree with what you're saying, that he should go for the world title, but I kind of think it would be cool to see a champion versus champion at Mania. I think it would be cool to see Lashley versus McIntyre. I feel like we haven't gotten a champion versus champion match in a while. I think the last time was Rollins and Cena, if I'm not mistaken. And that was also for the US. So I think now that the US has been built up so greatly with Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business behind them, I think this is a perfect time to do it. And you also get the Lashley versus McIntyre match.
Yeah, that is no true. Limitations on your predictions. I love it. Like champion, I wouldn't have thought of champion versus champion because they got to be defended, but that's great. That would add legitimacy too. Imagine Lashley walking out of the main event of WrestleMania with like 2 championships over his shoulder.
That would give an even bigger push to the Hurt Business in general, because I know people. I've seen like a whole bunch of like, not rumors, but like ideas of having like another person added to the group, and then have Bobby Lashley win the championship, WWE championship, so they have all the belts, kind of speak.
Yeah.
Because that's why I have like I kind of have a feeling that Keith Lee may win the championship, the US championship, and may have him turn on Riddle, so that way he can kind of join the Hurt Business. Because this is kind of like he kind of got added in maybe last week, I think. So it's kind of weird. He wasn't really involved. He just came back after. He came back after battling with COVID, and all of a sudden he was put into this match, this feud. After he was just beforehand, he was going against Drew McIntyre and the WWE Championship. He was now going for the United States Championship, which is kind of strange to me. It was just a random jump in there. But I kind of feel I personally have Keith Lee winning it, so that way he gives him the opportunity to hold a championship, possibly join the Hurt Business, and maybe have Lashley go for the WWE title and win it off of McIntyre. So they'll all be that dominant group, that 4-man group, and have MVP not really do much. Because I believe he got injured this past Monday Night Raw, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard rumors of him getting injured. I think that would be safer for him to not wrestle anymore, just to be the voice of the Hurt Business and just do his thing on the manager side of the role. So I kind of feel like Keith Lee will. Do you guys think that will happen? Do you guys think he should or join the Hurt Business, or would that be kind of like a good thing, bad thing in terms of that perspective?
You want to take it, Joel, first? I got some thoughts too.
Yeah, I think Keith Lee, I feel he doesn't really fit the match with the Hurt Business. Like, I feel like Keith Lee could put him anywhere, but I feel like he just doesn't mold well as a heel.
Yeah.
Like, you could always put him as like a tweener, but I feel wouldn't work with him in the Hurt Business, to be honest. Like, just short thought on that.
Yeah. I don't know if I see him joining the Hurt Business. I mean, I could, like, the Hurt Business to me, it's been a while since I think they formed a faction that I'm so behind. Like, New Day is, they kind of grew organically, and I saw that. We all saw New Day rise. And New Day's still dominant, but they're obviously not together now. They're just there, which I like. I hate we always have to break up teams when they're ending. Like, leave them together, like they don't need to, like Freebird style, And so for Hurt Business, when I get behind them, when I see what they're doing, and like you said, with MVP as a voice, and because that's the only thing that I don't see Lashley, Cedric, even Shelton doing well. When I thought Shelton, like with all this time, he would have had like some, he would have brought his promo skills back. But I saw when they tried to do a backstage segment with all the Hurt Business, and they could talk, but just they're completely outshined by MVP on the mic. So Hurt Business is like rocking and rolling. I don't know if they need, what would that? That'd be a 5th member, right? Yeah, so I don't know if it's Keith Lee joining. I see Keith Lee maybe getting his own group of people, maybe going against the Hurt Business if he's U.S. champ, like, because they would obviously feud, right? Hurt Business would want that title, something like that. But I'm with Joel. I don't see Keith Lee really fitting the mold of a heel, especially not now, because you have a lot of heels, and you have like when I think strong baby faces, I think McIntyre and I think Keith Lee. So who else? Who else do we have as like a really strong baby face?
I guess you can bring in Jeff Hardy. Or Riddle, Riddle, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
Because those people, everyone are going to be behind anyways. Because everyone loves Jeff Hardy. He's the legend.
Yeah. Come on, it's Jeff Hardy, man.
Yeah, and Riddle's gonna be Riddle. We've seen Riddle, like, the way his persona is, his gimmick is, he's like laid back and chill. Everyone's gonna love that. Yeah. So exactly. So everyone's gonna love that. But besides them two, I can't really name one besides Keith Lee and McIntyre.
I guess you could put Ricochet on there.
Yeah, that is true. We could add Ricochet on there too.
Where is Ricochet?
Yeah, I mean, you could also have Kofi and Xavier Woods.
Yeah,
because them two, what we've seen 2 years ago from Kofi Mania. We'll talk more about that later since it's in the Raw Chamber match.
Can't wait to talk about that because that match, really excited when they made that.
Yeah, really.
So my final thoughts on that. I see Riddle or Lee winning. I don't see Lashley winning.
Yeah, I think it's about time to give one of those two guys the belts. I mean,
I don't know, man. Absolutely, I don't know, man. I'm still gonna go with Lashley. I feel like with Lashley walking out of Mania with both belts, this also legitimizes Keith Lee and Riddle, because now they'll be in not only the U.S. title picture, but now they're messing with the double champ. So this kind of brings them into the world title picture.
I mean, you guys have to remember that Miz is also still Mr. Money in the Bank. So do you want the Miz kind of cashing in on Lashley?
When Miz, just quick insert here. When Miz cashes in, he's winning. There's no way Miz doesn't win after the trouble they've gone to give him back the Money in the Bank briefcase. So he's a big factor because that's automatic. Like Miz is getting the title back.
But now that also brings the unpredictability of the summer. Because now there's a whole bunch of people that are able to be champion. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's believable with everybody being a champion.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of believability. Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody has pinned each other. Riddle has pinned Lashley. Lee has pinned Riddle. Vice versa. So it's really like anybody could be champion at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that too.
Yeah, that is true. Also, because I remember Joel and I spoke about this in the past episode where the Miz has. I don't know if it's a year from when he won it back in over the fall, or is it a year from when Otis won it? So we don't know how long he's gonna drag out his title, briefcase for.
When is Money in the Bank? I completely forget.
June or July.
Last year it was the one that it was the pay-per-view after
in
Mania,
the headquarters.
Though. Yeah, that was that one. I think it was because I may be wrong. It may have been Extreme. I'm not sure. I don't remember at the moment, but it was either Extreme.
I know
Rules.
it was close to Mania because they wanted to give us something because Mania was they did their best, but they wanted to give us a different location. I know for a pay-per-view, so it was close to that.
Yeah. So it was
I would still love to see the Miz cash in on the Money in the Bank match and win the Money in the Bank again.
So he gets another year.
Yeah. And then just drag that out, and it just makes you just hate him even more because now he's just Mr. Money in the Bank again.
I love to hate him. Yeah,
exactly.
That'd be amazing. Wow, on the night. Yeah,
that would be no one
because you would think, okay, he has till tonight. He's gonna cash in on the world title. He's gonna cash in on the Money in the Bank match.
That's that. Oh my god! Everyone, the whole entire wrestling universe will go crazy on the Miz that night if that happens.
I feel like WWE would love to do a thing where like Miz, like for a split second, we have for the first time ever 3 Money in the Bank winners. Like on that night, like Miz cashes in. Maybe he does cash in on the world title, and then like whoever the other guy is comes in. Would be cool if it was Morrison. Now we're getting into fantasy land here, but Morrison winning the Money in the Bank and Miz. Oh man. Cool.
That would be because we also mentioned that too, how like if 2 people have the briefcase, like they both kind of try to go at the championship at the same time. They could do something where both Miz and whoever wins this year's briefcase can kind of like troll each other, like, oh, I'm gonna catch him tonight. You have to, because that's Miz's last night. So kind of like they're both trolling each other. That's something that we hope to see. That's what I want to see, kind of thing. Like, oh, maybe Damian Priest is the one that wins it this year.
Like you kind of have the Money in the Bank open the match, and then throughout the night they just tease them doing like promos in the back together. Like once you cash in, just be ready because I'm gonna cash in on you.
Yeah,
like,
I'm coming right after. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be entertaining.
Oh, hell yeah!
That just waiting for it to happen.
Especially if it's like a baby face that everyone's gonna be behind of, and like like I said, a Damian Priest, everyone's already behind him anyways because he's with Bad Bunny, but.
Bad Bunny, man.
Yeah,
it does that. It does that to people.
I know, right? and then he had that probably jump in, and the Miz probably like, oh, it should have been my chance. I should have held it longer. But he warned you, though. Yeah. He warned you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be cool. I mean, that would be cool to see happen. And like I said, we also have to think about like who is going to be champion and who the Miz might cash in on.
Yeah,
if that's the case. Would you want to see the Miz cashing on Lashley? Would you want to see him catching on McIntyre or anybody who wins the Chamber this Sunday?
I think I want to see him catching on McIntyre. I don't know. We're not even looking into. I guess he can't, right? Because they want to, the brand thing is strong right now, so they don't want to have him cashing on like Reigns or something.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Yeah,
that's not happening at all.
Make any sense? Yeah, no.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense at all.
I mean, I would love it. But
we never.
I feel like in the past we've seen that though. Like in the past, because they at one point they did Raw and SmackDown briefcases. Then when they brought in the women's Money in the Bank, they got rid of Raw and SmackDown. So it's kind of like, I guess I get it, but it's weird when you think about it. Like in theory, because I guess what is it? Pay-per-views. There can be multiple brands fighting in like the same match on pay-per-views.
Yeah.
It's like an unspoken rule. Yeah. So I see how it could happen. Raw, SmackDown guy wins. I felt like there were more possibilities when we had Raw and SmackDown, but then each year we'd have 4 Money in the Bank matches, which is
yeah.
They would just need that pay-per-view just for the matches.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I've always thought
overkill. I think
I've always thought they should bring the Money in the Bank match at Mania at this point.
Back to Mania.
Because it doesn't make sense if you have like a pay-per-view specifically for it. I mean, you just bring it back to the original, not original, but like it was mainly on Mania at first.
It's a Mania match.
Yeah, exactly.
Money in the Bank is constantly delivering. So,
but I guess
it brings back a must-see match for Mania because right now Mania doesn't really have that. Not trying to shit on him, but like that. Yeah, like once Taker left, it's like, is there really a must-see attraction match for Mania? Yeah. So just bring it back.
I guess they're trying to do like the Andre the Giant Battle Royal thing now, which is like. They didn't do it last year. Just kind of like, don't do it anymore.
Well, yeah, last year COVID. I think
they're too many people in the ring.
Yeah.
There's too many people in the ring. I mean, they already had the Rumble, so like might as well just bring it back.
I think they're fine with it now.
Yeah. I think they're fine with it.
They forgot. I mean, they're having 20,000 people there.
Yeah, that is true. So I guess you could have 30 people in a ring at the same time. But I guess that's equally the same thing. But whatever. But I guess we can head into the next match, which I'm still don't know if it's happening. It's the Raw Women's Championship match. It was supposed to be Asuka versus Lacey Evans, but Lacey Evans is now pregnant, so I don't think she can fight this Sunday. The reason why I said I don't know if it's happening because they never really confirmed it. Right. It may be someone else taking her spot. If you guys had to choose between somebody to take her spot, Lacey Evans' spot for this Sunday's championship match, who would it be and why?
I think, and like this is not who I want to take it, but I think Charlotte is probably going to hop in that spot if I had to pick somebody. I think Charlotte's going to hop in. I hate how Charlotte has been there for 5 years, and I really do like Charlotte. I think she's great in the ring.
Yeah.
I think she's improved like tremendously on the mic, but I think that Charlotte is going to hop in there. Charlotte, how many titles has she held now? Over 10?
11,
over 10,
12.
11, 12.
Yeah.
It's just in such a short time to me that it's it's hard to take in. I mean, Trish Stratus, how many did she hold? And she was there for
5, I think, something like that.
Made it
matter. It was single digit. I know that.
Yeah, it was single digit,
and that's really sad. So, and I know there's been a lot of brand splits, different titles, this, that. So there's reasons like New Day, one of their title reigns is simply from them trading titles with the Street Profits. So I see how people rack up reigns now, but still, I would hate to see it, but if there's somebody I'm going with, it's Charlotte, and then she'll bring that to Mania and hopefully fight Ripley. Hopefully.
That is true. That was kind of like my theory too, with like, they're probably gonna make Charlotte beat Asuka to face Ripley again, because I was gonna say Ripley to replace Lacey Evans this Sunday, but I think if they gave Ripley the belt, they're probably gonna have Charlotte beat her at Mania for it again. Because that's what I don't
Ripley
want.
The belt. Okay.
Yeah, they probably would have had Charlotte beat her for it at Mania.
You got to put Ripley over. She's probably my favorite wrestler right now. I'd be hard pressed to like first or second. I said this I think on Titantron that like picking my first is always pretty hard, but like she's absolutely second. Like Ripley is. I get so pumped when she comes out. Rumble, oh man, I'm happy Bianca won, but Ripley coming out and I'm not setting the record, but coming close. She was throwing everyone out.
Oh yeah,
but I want Ripley to go over this year at Mania. I get it. Last year was her Mania debut. You go out with you on your back, right, for your Mania debut. I get it, but come on.
It's not like she had a terrible year following that too. I know she's mentioned that she kind of lost her.
A great year.
Yeah, she had a better year than, especially after bouncing back from the loss of Mania. She's had a fantastic year. She beat Mercedes Martinez. She beaten Raquel Gonzalez. There's probably many more that happened, but at the moment I can't really think of it. But
one of the greatest matches I've seen in recent time was the Last Woman Standing match.
Yes,
that was. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah.
With Raquel Gonzalez. Oh my God, that was
incredible.
Wow. Yeah, it was like a throwback. It was really violent too. It was like some hardcore match. Like that was awesome. And that was the perfect way to go out. Raquel put her out. She went right through the stage and she showed up in the Rumble. Have we seen Ripley? Now I'm bad at this because I didn't see the last NXT takeover that just happened. I hear it's one of the greatest ever and need to watch it. But was Ripley on that, or has she been in NXT since that loss to Raquel?
I don't think she's been back in NXT since. I think
I would consider her I think she's in that like limbo, right?
Yeah. In my opinion, though, like I would, even though it would be a perfect opportunity for her to debut in a championship match, even though it might not make sense for some people to do that, but I think for Ripley, I think she should, in my opinion, should debut on SmackDown, because not only is it a better show, but I feel like it'll make sense for a future storyline. Like, because, so I'll kind of go a little bit off topic of this, but like Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss, for example. Mm-hmm. One thing that makes Bray Wyatt so unique with his character now is the fact that one of the things that he not always, but once in a while brings up is the fact that he never forgets. Mm-hmm. If something happens with the current feud, he'll bring back something that happened like 5 years ago or something. Yeah. And then I think, even though this what I'm about to bring up is not really that long ago, but one thing that they should do with Alexa Bliss is apply that same concept with her.
Right.
Have her be like, I don't forget. I never forget. So I would want Rhea Ripley go to SmackDown, do her thing over there, win a championship or don't, whatever. And then have her win the Money in the Bank briefcase, the women's one. Have her get drafted over to Raw in October, keep the briefcase, and maybe on that night, the day she gets drafted on Raw, whatever, she cashes it in on the women's champion, the Raw Women's Champion, and she becomes Raw Women's Champion. Then her next feud after that is against Alexa Bliss, and she'll bring back the fact that she never forgets because now they'll be on the same show, and she'll bring back the fact that Rhea Ripley eliminated her at the Rumble midway through a transition, especially.
Yeah,
so yeah. So it'll be like kind of be like that, like, oh, she never forgets. At that point, I feel like people will forget because that's like a small thing, you know, like it's just elimination at Rumble, you know. It's not like it wasn't like the biggest spot in the Rumble, you know. It wasn't like she won the match, you know, or eliminated her to win it. It was just like a middle of the match or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would have been a great feud going on for the future, and that's what I kind of wanted to see. Again, without creative ideas, we kind of go off topic a little bit.
Jonah, as you see, we're all about fantasy booking on this show.
I love it though. It's the passion like that. I love thinking of these things because sometimes they happen. Yeah, Alexa and Ripley, I mean, that would be a really cool feud. Ripley I think she works good with anybody. I've seen her work with Raquel Gonzalez, like we were just talking about, which was awesome, and Dakota Kai, which is awesome. Two different types of styles of people, and that's so. Yeah, Alexa and Ripley would be a great feud to happen, especially. I think you're right too. I think people may catch on like with the elimination. Like I don't know if I certainly wouldn't forget because I thought that was a pretty big spot.
Yeah.
I like the mid transition elimination. I thought it was kind of Ripley being like, you know, get at like, you know, why should we care? Like get the storyline out of here, which was cool. But yeah, I would enjoy that feud. But what were we saying with the match itself with Lacey and Charlotte?
Yeah.
I think Charlotte's hopping in. Joel, what do you think?
Personally, I would love for Nia Jax to get a shot. No,
you don't.
I think they're just gonna put Charlotte in there. I think I'm still iffy on it because I think they want to give Charlotte that WrestleMania moment of winning the belt after she hasn't had it for a while. Sadly, I think that's what's going to happen. I think she's winning the belt at Mania. I don't think they'll put it on her now. I think they'll just either have somebody step in and take the loss so that she can beat Asuka at Mania, or I guess give somebody the belt for 2 months, like as a transition champion.
Another person they could actually bring in is Peyton Royce because she's kind of also in this feud as well. She was on Raw fighting for her. Like you said, it's probably going to be like a filler match. Might as well put in Peyton Royce so it wouldn't affect Charlotte as much in a way.
Yeah, I just feel I feel bad for whoever they put in there. That's
Lana.
Oh man.
Lana.
I just feel bad for whoever they put in there because I know if they win, it's gonna be a transition champion. I know it'll just be to hold it till Mania.
Because what I've also said once to Joelle before is that I don't think Charlotte has not won a championship at Mania. I think every single Mania match she's been in, she's won a championship.
Not 35.
Yeah, 30.
And we try to forget that.
That was Rousey, right?
Yeah.
I mean Becky won.
Becky
won.
I
was at that Mania.
So was he. So
me too.
You were?
Yeah, I had my school pay for it.
That's awesome.
And
how'd you do that? Extracurricular or something?
And Joelle didn't invite me.
It was
Joelle didn't invite me.
I had a budget. They gave me a budget. It was for my senior project.
That's so funny. We actually had
the whole story itself, but the way
yeah.
I would have loved to stay around for that Mania, like towards the end, but I went to Mania 29 when it was at MetLife there too. You were there too?
Yes, sir.
Been to a lot of Mania.
Yes, sir.
How many Manias have you been to?
I've been to. I've been to 29, 32, 33, 35.
You were at 32. I was at 33.
That was Dallas.
32 was Dallas. Yeah,
Dallas. Yeah.
I went to 33 when it's in New York or Florida. I went, and then I also went to 31 in California. So anyone that's the first one I went to was in Miami. Yeah, the first one I went to was in Miami 28. Rock. I saw both Rock and Cena's.
Wow.
I'm sure. Did you go to?
Nice.
You saw Rock.
I saw the second one. Yeah. 29.
Man, that's funny.
I want to go to next year's Mania when it goes back in person. When it's full crowd. That's all I want to go to.
Yeah, no, I would have gone to this one. My friend lives in Tampa, so like when it's in there, like we just try and do either a road trip to Orlando or just go to the Tampa because he lives there. But I don't really trust it right now.
Yeah.
It's a little iffy. But what I was saying was, I'm sure you can relate then, Joel, that 29, I think it took me like until 4 a.m. to get a bus home, like 3 or 4 a.m. The Port Authority, the buses were packed, like they had no transportation for people after a while. They never prepare for it.
Yeah.
So for this one, when Rousey and Becky, like I think maybe 10 minutes into the match, like my girlfriend and I were just like, we're running out of MetLife, like we're booking it for the buses. And so I heard about the ending afterwards. I didn't see it live, and I heard it was a botch and stuff. And I remember the memory of just
glad you left early.
Running.
Yeah.
I remember running from MetLife with pyro going off behind me. Like I'm like, shit, the wrestling fans are coming. Let's go.
Let's go. Hurry up. Yeah, it was a botch though. We had a whole discussion about that too on Ring once. So it was like not a great ending that people were expecting.
That ending left everybody. I feel like it was like the count 1, 2, 3, and then everybody just didn't know how to react because we saw like the arm up and was like, oh, are they gonna end Mania on a roll up? Is this what's happening?
It was like, it would have been a great ending if it had gone to, if her shoulder wasn't up and the move went a little more fluidly. I feel like it would have been a great ending because like she has her up for that move. She's been hitting for, a year ending matches, and she rolls her up. That's a cool counter. They were trying to make it like an epic counter, but it just didn't work out, sadly.
Yeah, I think the ref didn't see the shoulder up and was like, oh shoot, I guess I counted the 3. I guess she won, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it was Ronda's fault. I think it was supposed to be the shoulder up, but the ref just didn't see it or forgot or something.
I still give it to Ronda.
Yeah.
I thought she should have won at Mania, to be honest.
Yeah, she should have.
Becky walking out with double belts was cool, and I feel like it did make the man like was made on the build to Mania, and then it was like solidified with those double belts. I didn't mind the win, but I wish it was a little bit more, because like there was a couple things in that match too, right? Like the table spot, I thought like something happened with that. Wasn't that like a botch? Yeah, it was a good match, but it was a couple things could have been better probably.
Yeah, some things just didn't go smoothly for them. Exactly. It's not on their part. It's just it happens sometimes.
How do you guys feel about Ronda potentially, if, I don't know, this may be far-fetched, but like what if she ended up being the one coming out on Sunday if they still do this Raw Women's Championship match and facing Asuka?
I personally don't see Ronda returning in Elimination Chamber. Like it's not a big 4, and Ronda is huge, and I thought she was going to come out at the Rumble. I don't see her returning here.
Yeah, I feel like because she has been training for a while now, for I would say like at least a year. And I'm kind of like hoping for a Ronda return. Been hoping that, like I said, since Rumble, even before Rumble, I was like, I wanted to return quickly.
I think what they're doing with Ronda is the same thing they're doing with Brock. I feel like Brock is still under contract. I think they're waiting for crowds to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they are two people that ovation that they'll get with a return is incredible.
I'll lose my voice when I see Lesnar come back.
Every time Lesnar comes out, they can hype him up. It could be a surprise.
Here comes the pain.
It's Brock, man. Yeah. I also don't see the hate around Brock. Let me just say that real quick.
Me neither.
Me same here.
I've been a Brock guy for a long time, but when he came back in 2012, like a lot of people, let's see, how old are you guys?
I'm 22.
Oh, me too. I'm 22. Okay, so yeah, I'm 22. So when he came back, what was that at this point? Like 9 years ago for us now.
Yeah.
So like as kids watching, a lot of kids were like, they hated him. He attacked Cena and everything. I was all for Lesnar.
Yeah.
And his last run, I was a bit too young to really get behind him that much. Like I think I didn't want to start watching wrestling on TV until like maybe 06 or something. So I missed the first Here Comes the Pain. So seeing him come back, but I knew all about him. And so seeing him come back was amazing for me. Like it was awesome. And I've been behind him really ever since. I liked Brock cutting promos for himself. I liked when they brought Heyman back. I'm always a Lesnar guy, no matter what. And it's funny, at that Mania where they changed the, was that 32 or was that where they changed? It was Reigns and Lesnar in the main event, and they were like 100 F5s, 100 spears each, bloody.
No, that was
34.
34. That was
34.
Yeah, 32 was Dallas. Triple H
and Reigns that went till like midnight. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Brock and Brock and Reigns in that match, I was the only one out of my friend group rooting for Brock. I was like, no, he's going to win it. Yeah. And I heard that they changed it like mid-match. So when he actually won, I really like freaked out. I was like, no way. Like, this is the most unpredictable. Like that was what was cool about it. Cause I genuinely thought Reigns was winning. Brock was supposed to leave, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing him pull that win out anywhere and like count to 3. I feel like to me, that was like, damn, Brock can do whatever he wants. Like Brock is.
Yeah, really.
Awesome. Yeah.
Like I found out about Brock because I started watching wrestling late. So like I found out about Brock. This is how you know I started watching wrestling late. I found out about Brock Lesnar through a UFC video game. That's how I found out about Brock Lesnar.
Oh wow.
That was my first experience. Yeah. And then when I searched him up, I was like, oh, he was a wrestler. And then I started watching his old matches. And then in 2012, it was like, oh,
exactly,
shoot.
Yeah. He's actually like how legit he is.
Yeah.
How legit he is. Yeah.
He's actually the reason why I started watching UFC.
Oh wow.
Like that's I was into it and like watching it here and there because they were giving it on Spike while TNA was happening. Like they would give it right after, and I would watch it here and there. And then one day I just saw Brock was on the Ultimate Fighter. That was it. I was hooked onto UFC.
Yeah, he was like. I heard he was like because I remember watching the video games, and I'm like, oh, this guy's like really big compared to these other UFC guys. Like, who is this guy from? Is he a football player or something? I searched him up. I was like, he was a wrestler. I'm like, oh shit. And that's how I found out about Brock Lesnar. I searched him up, and then when he came back in 2012, I was like, this guy's back now. He's in, he went to UFC and he's back. Like it's kind of weird to think about it in that perspective, like a UFC guy. I mean, he was a WWE wrestler obviously beforehand, and he went to UFC and came back.
There are a ton of people. I was just gonna say, there's a ton of people who don't think about it this way. Brock's probably one of the greatest sellers in the business, if not like in top 3 somewhere. Like he will take it, whatever it is, he will go full force. I mean, he gets hurt every match. Like I don't think Brock walks away ever just like feeling fine. You know, that guy always looks like he gives 110% to each match. They might not be frequent, but he gives 110% to every match he's in.
Definitely. Guess we can get to the next match that we have here. Still a small card, 2 matches left. The SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. Yeah, Kevin Owens, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, King Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso, where the winner will receive a universal title match literally right after that match ends. Do you guys like that concept they're doing with this? Like literally once the match is over, the Universal Championship is going to start. Like,
wow, that's Edge and Cena vibes right there. That's really cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that was the stipulation. I missed. Was that last SmackDown?
Last
SmackDown. Yeah, last SmackDown. I believe.
Okay. Because I saw they made the chamber, but I didn't know that was the. That's awesome. I'm for that. Honestly, I'm for that stipulation. It's gonna be. I think it pretty much means like the person's not gonna win. I mean, we know they're not gonna knock Reigns off at Elimination Chamber, but still pretty cool. I hope it's not Owens, and I have nothing against Owens. If anything, this feud has made me like love him the most I have so far in his WWE run. But I want somebody else to get that shot. I don't think it's going to be Jey Uso. I think I'm doing like process of elimination here. I don't think Uso's winning that match. I don't think Zayn's winning that match. Corbin, I don't see Corbin. It's got to be Bryan, right?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, if they don't give it to Owens, like you said, I think it's going to be Owens where like they're probably going to have Roman Reigns come out and like just continue to beat him up and then just easy win probably off there to make him look more dominant. If they give it to Daniel Bryan, it'll probably be like a more lengthy match because he's had the past with Owens where like he just doesn't want to deal with him anymore. Exactly. He just wants to be over with him. So that's probably what's going to happen if Owens win.
Yeah.
If he wins, then they're probably going to have Roman come out and just continue to beat him up and like end the match quickly, unless he does something crazy where like Kevin Owens comes right back up and then just continues to fight like he did at Royal Rumble in the last man standing match. Where, like even though he's got ran over by a golf cart or whatever, he still got up and continued fighting.
Sick, by the way, that caught me off guard.
Me too. I remember Joel texted me. We were both dying when that happened. We're like, what the fuck just happened? We're like, what the heck? He just got ran over by
out of nowhere.
Yeah, really out of nowhere. That was solid. I like that. You didn't see that coming. Could have ended the match. Would have been okay.
Really. I could have ended the match. How did you win? You got ran over by a golf cart. That's how you won. But like, I think that's gonna happen if Owens wins the match. If they're going to want to go with a lengthy match where it goes on for like 10, 20 minutes, then you got to go with Daniel Bryan, in my opinion.
I think Uso is put in there as like, what would I call it? Like, I guess an enforcer. Like, I think he's put in there but for a reason. He's not going to go against Reigns. Like, I don't see him trying to win. I think his involvement is going to be like screwing Owens over, or maybe screwing Bryan over. I don't know which one, but it's this match is for one of those guys, in my opinion, is Owens and Bryan. I don't see anybody else in that match, especially like I would never see a Corbin and Reigns feud. I mean, both two of the biggest heels on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I don't see Sami Zayn, probably my favorite heel right now.
Oh, right now,
incredible. Yeah,
incredible.
Amazing. But I don't see him winning the match. He's gonna call it a conspiracy theory or whatever afterwards. But that's that's Zayn, and then who else is in it? Then Cesaro. I didn't even damn, I'm pissed I looked over him. Actually, he's in there in my picks.
Yeah.
Cesaro's over as hell right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind seeing a Cesaro versus Roman match. That would be amazing.
I think Daniel Bryan is gonna be in the last two. Everybody is gonna think, oh, Bryan's finally gonna get this win, finally gonna get a chance at the title, and I think Jey Uso's gonna win. I think Jey Uso's gonna win
and lay down for
the chamber's gonna go up. Reigns is gonna walk out. He's just gonna lay down and take the pin. I don't think it's gonna be a lengthy match. I think it's made for that, to screw over, to make you think, okay, somebody's gonna get a shot at Reigns. But I think Bryan's just gonna get screwed over. I think he's gonna be the last guy because everybody's been wanting him to go after the belt. They've been hinting at it. Yeah. And I think he'll be the last guy, but Uso will screw him over.
I feel like the reason why they have Jey Uso in this chamber match was because he didn't compete at the Rumble. Because he was supposed to be in the Rumble and he never appeared. I don't know why, but he was never in the match. And one of the things, when Joel and I did the Rumble prediction episode, I said that one of the things I wanted to see in the Rumble match when Jey was in it was kind of have like Roman be in the sidelines in like ringside with Paul Heyman, telling Jey Uso to eliminate this guy, go ahead, eliminate that guy, kind of thing, telling him what to do.
That'd be really cool. Maybe that's what was supposed to happen, and then almost took over because he was just throwing people out left and right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think too. I think he's gonna be sidelined, like right there next to the chamber, telling Jey like, "Yo, eliminate that guy, eliminate him from you," and then like he's gonna give him consequences if he doesn't.
I just think Jay's taking the pin. I think he's gonna pin Bryan clean, like not clean. He'll do something to mess with Bryan, but he'll get the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
On his back. And he'll lay down for Reigns. This is all in my head to still lead up for, because they haven't built it up yet. Me and Nick have been talking about this every episode leading up to Mania. Jimmy and Jay at Mania. I feel like he's going to come back and just be like, yo, why are you doing all this for him? Like, what has he done for you? And then it's going to lead into the Jimmy versus Jay match at Mania. If Jimmy loses, he has to join under Reigns.
And vice versa, if Jimmy wins, then Jay leaves Roman. So that way, the Usos are still a tag team, and they're not really split up.
So I look at this as a match setting up for another match.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's really cool, Uso and Uso at Mania. That gives me like Hardy Boys type of feel.
Yeah.
So that's,
at 25. Yeah. That was 11 years. That was 12 years ago, wasn't that? Wow.
Was it really?
Yeah, 2009. That was 25 in 2009.
Oh my God.
That was when they faced that was the Extreme Rules match. That's when I first started.
I was so sad when I saw at the Rumble. Was it Jeff Hardy and Edge and Matt came out and hit him with the chair?
Yeah, I think I cried a little bit.
So sad. I was really. Jeff is still my favorite. That's why when we get to the Raw, which I think is next, right?
Yeah.
I have my own thing with Jeff. Like I can't just say, oh no, Jeff's screw Jeff. Like I can't. I want Jeff to be like Santino was with Bryan that year. Like I want Jeff to be in the final. Yeah. I really do. I think he can elicit that crowd response too. Jeff's just a guy. Everyone our age likes Jeff Hardy. Like you can't. Yeah. He's the right guy to go with to get that crowd response. By the way, when crowds come back, he's bringing back No More Words, which
I am excited.
I can't wait.
The first. I hope he has a match at Mania because that's when the first. I believe right now is the first time crowds will be back.
I think so.
So I hope he
have a match at Mania.
They should give him like a one-on-one match. It doesn't have to have like a big storyline. Put him in a match. Just all I want to hear is the theme song.
Maybe it'll be for the title, depending on the next match.
Who knows? Exactly. So we don't know. Yeah,
people would be pissed, but I'd be happy.
I'd be hyped.
We have the theme song. That's all that matters.
Man, give me Jeff Hardy and Edge to close Mania.
Seriously.
Oh man, that would be great.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
me too.
Both of them could still go. It's not like one of them. You know what I mean? Like 100%. It's not like
It's not
out of their
Goldberg.
prime.
Like it's Jeff and Edge. Like they
Yeah.
are. The thing about Edge, and like Anthony and I talk about this a lot. The thing about Edge is like people can't call that a nostalgia pull because I don't think it is. That guy got robbed of 9 years of his career.
Yeah.
He put in the work to look better than half the roster. He worked a 60-minute match and won from spot one to was it spot one? Yeah, right. Spot one. Yeah. He won from number one to the end, and he's been in some crazy matches since he come back, and he's been on Raw and SmackDown consistently now, picking his person, even NXT. Like Edge is fine. I don't see him as a part-timer at all. I see Edge as a number one guy. He even had a match on Raw with Orton, right?
Yeah, it was the main event the next day.
The main event. Come on. Edge is not a nostalgic pull. Edge is the guy. He's got a few years left, just like a lot of the rest of the roster does. I mean, AJ Styles is up there too in age, but nobody's batting an eye there. And I get he's there more frequently. He is, but still, it's Edge, and Jeff's there every single week. So good guys all around. You should build new stars, but there are still stars that are older that can go. That's my thoughts on that.
That is true.
Definitely. I think Edge would have been there more consistent if the injury never happened to him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who knows what would have happened, right?
Exactly.
He could be on top right now.
Exactly. I feel like he would have been retired anyways, but at this point, if he didn't get injured, but like you said, I think he still would have been the same level of like rising to the top and winning championships and all that stuff. We're seeing more from Edge, but I think he's on like a 3-year contract where he has like I think he has like a year left or 2.
Yeah.
So he's not there for this long, but he's still gonna be here for a while.
Right.
Also, you gotta think about this. He left on top. He left as champion.
Yeah.
When he retired, like he gave the belt up, and he's still doing his thing, coming back 9 years later.
Exactly.
Yeah. I had my thoughts. Joel and I spoke about this. I have my thoughts on Edge winning the Rumble. That's a whole different story. It's a whole nother topic right there. Just talking about that. But I'm glad it's cool to see him back. That's all I'm going to say. It's cool to see him back in the spot. I just hope got to obviously at this Sunday we're going to see who's going to face because that's the big factor. Right there to see who's going to face at Mania, who's going to win the championship. Who do you think is going to be the one, facing Edge? Because there's a lot of guys. Like we said, Jeff Hardy could be the one that's doing it. Maybe not. It could be Sheamus. It could be McIntyre.
Everybody on this match has put on a match.
Yeah. That's why I'm excited for it. Like, I know there was a lot of backlash of putting Miz in there at first from people. People were like, why Miz? Why not Morrison? But like, just look at what they're doing. This is all former WWE champions. So Miz being in that at that point, it made sense. Yeah. I'm glad they took him out and put Kofi in. Now, to me, this match is bar none one of the greatest chambers we've had in recent memory with Kofi in there. Like this is solid as hell. So I'm looking forward to this. These are all guys who could still go. Yeah. And like you said, have the potential. Go on though, Joel. What?
I think the last great chamber we had was I want to say 2017. Right before Mania 33, where Bray Wyatt won.
Yes,
that was. I think that was the last.
Sadly, not a lot of people. I feel because that was when Wyatt won the championship.
Yeah.
Yes,
and also I swear, like a lot of people don't think of that one for some reason.
Yeah,
like at least in my friend, like a lot of people don't remember Wyatt was champion. It kind of gets brushed over, but he was legit WWE champion at one point. Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, and I was gonna say the one in 2019 when Kofi was in that one too, with Daniel Bryan being the last one. Yeah, everyone was behind Kofi winning the championship that night.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden he lost.
I feel that one was more of a. At the end, it was like, wow, this might actually happen. I think. The overall match was okay.
Yeah. No,
I feel like the last great one was the 2017 one. That was like all around, just the build to it, the match itself.
Yes.
That was
cool. Incredible.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel this is going to be another one.
Yeah. I mean, who do you guys got? Since we're on this match, who do you guys have winning?
Let's just skip to this match.
Yeah. This is the last match.
Did we pick guys for the SmackDown one? If I had to pick a guy, Joel, you had that great prediction. I think if I had to pick a guy who's actually winning, I'm going to say Bryan, and we'll just see what happens from there.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have
a
whole convoluted thing that plays out. I just think Bryan wins. But
yeah, I got Bryan too. I think Bryan might win this one. I don't know. If not, they're probably going to go with Owens. I don't want that to happen, but I want to say Bryan for this one. Right. I think he's going to be in it.
Right,
for the
Nick, take us through the Raw one. Let's get to it.
Exactly. The last one we got former WWE champions for the WWE Championship, Drew McIntyre defending it against Randy Orton, Sheamus, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and now Kofi Kingston in the match. Do you guys got to pick to see who wins this? Do you think one of these guys could end up being the challenger for Edge and Mania? or in that sense?
I think, Joel, you want to go first?
No, you got it. You got it.
You got it, Jonah.
All right, let's do this. I think that Sheamus drawing last, I think it's going to be ironic, and I think Sheamus is going to go out first. That's what I see happening. Because I see Sheamus going first. Second, I don't want to say this. Like, I have two theories of what could happen, but if I had to pick a guy going out second, I'd say it's probably Jeff Hardy. I really don't want it to happen. I see Jeff making it and being like that, kind of like, let's go, Jeff type of, crowd react. Well, there's no crowds, but at home reaction.
And
And so, but yeah, Jeff would probably get out second. I'll just say I see McIntyre winning this match. I don't see him losing. So all that's going to go around that. I really don't want to see Randy make it to the end with McIntyre again, but it may happen. What I think could happen, though, is Randy goes out third, and then we're down to who? There's one guy I'm forgetting.
AJ
is AJ is a dark horse.
Oh, AJ and Kofi.
AJ and Kofi.
AJ and Kofi. I see it going down to Drew, AJ, and Kofi, and then I really don't see which way it goes. Like, I see AJ. I wonder if that guy's going to do anything almost, like, somehow, like somebody gets out, he comes in and just, like, wrecks the place. I see AJ getting out, and then I see it getting down to Drew and Kofi. And because they're going to try to play off Kofi Mania, and then Drew's going to kick Kofi in the head and hit him, and Drew's going to win. That's what I see.
Okay. I see for some reason, I see a lot of interference going on in this match, even if it's not almost. I think because when we were talking about, like, just a couple minutes ago, when we were talking about the greatest Elimination Chamber matches, one of my earliest memories that I have from the Elimination Chamber match when I first started watching was 2009 No Way Out, where Edge kind of attacks Kofi from behind and he takes his place. I don't see Edge coming in to take Kofi's place, but I kind of see something similar with that since Kofi's in the match and he has a feud.
Mustafa, probably, right?
Mustafa Ali. I see him entering the match for Kofi.
It's Ali. Mustafa is like
so many names you can call
whoever
him.
says it tongue in cheek at this point. Yeah, this guy's Ali.
So I kind of see Ali like kind of attacking Kofi before he gets in and taking his place. Kind of like going back to their feud where it's like, oh, Kofi had his time already, but it should have been my time. It should have been my time. Right. Even though he's not a former WWE champion, it can kind of be like, oh, this should be my opportunity now since he took mine 2 years ago. And I kind of see him being in the match instead of Kofi. Because it's weird, like because there's still like one person I thought of when Miz kind of took himself out. I thought Jinder Mahal was going to be in the match because he's also a former WWE champion.
I forgot about him, to be honest.
And he did return. And he did return the week before the Rumble at the Super Spectacle show.
I actually watched that. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
That show.
So I thought it was going to be him, but they put Kofi in there. So I was like, okay, maybe they're doing something with this. Maybe they're gonna somebody's gonna involve some way. So I think Ali's gonna be the one taking his place and kind of taking him out of the match, taking his place and being in it from start to finish with no interference from Kofi or Xavier. And then I also see Bray Wyatt coming out and doing something mid-match where he eliminates Randy. Yeah. Because I think it's about time they stop doing the Alexa Bliss interferences now. Because since Bray Wyatt got from TLC, it's been Alexa Bliss coming out standing there doing nothing and just getting in Randy's head.
That RKO though, fireball and then the RKO. That RKO to finish the show was badass. That was with him with the burned face and everything. Oh man, that was. I saw a montage of Orton just RKOing women like after that, and it was solid. Those
are the only two times that there actually was something happened. Every other time it's been Alexa Bliss coming out, just sort of standing there or doing something. And I think it's about time it's Bray Wyatt. It's time to come back and actually see him in person. Maybe you will get a different suit or a different mask and gear from him.
Yeah.
Since the last one he got burnt. So I'm thinking
flame retardant.
Yeah. So I see that happening. Maybe they continue that feud till Mania, because I think the reason why they kind of had him on TV was to bring him back, and because it's mainly been Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton, even though they hadn't or not going to have a match. But I guess it's like
he's gonna punt her though. That's on the lead up. He's gonna punt Alexa Bliss. Yeah, I see. I
feel like
easily. Like now that he has to pump back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he has the history of he has a history of RKOing women superstars. Now he also has a history of punting. He's punted Stephanie McMahon once, I believe. 2009.
Yeah,
that was back when the punt looked vicious. It still looks vicious, but it's different now, So no, Randy is at the top of his game. It's a shame that he's had such like little people to like kind of show that again, like off with. He's had Edge, Drew, and Bray, which is an amazing list of talent, and they're doing a great job holding down the fort during this different format we're all watching them in. But it would all just be made a lot more exciting with a crowd, But they have nothing to do about that. But,
that is true.
Orton's been great, but I just know people. I guess by that I know people are getting tired of him facing the same people for like 4 or 5 months on end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets a little tiring when it's just the same matches going like the whole summer when we just had Drew versus Randy. It was just okay. We get it. You know what I mean? And then they finally paid off a Hell in a Cell, but then they took it right back from him. It was like, okay, that was all for nothing.
It didn't make much sense. I was happy Drew got to be a 2-time champ because so somebody like Jinder, I feel like Jinder's never winning another WWE championship.
No.
If they come up with some title for the is it going to be NXT India, right? That's
I think so. I feel like
Jinder could easily win there and maybe build himself up there too. But
really. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
Do what Drew did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Honestly, my dream match is a 3-man band. Like Heath is killing it. It's a shame we had to see Heath go because I love Heath. He had him on my show. Heath is a good guy, and I want to see him back in WWE. And I think he has so much to offer. I think he was one of the funniest people we've had in like a while. Like he, Truth, and Santino for me are like some big comic relief personas in the past couple years. But that's going off topic. But 3-man band, maybe not main eventing, but just having a good match.
Exactly, because I think Heath is having he's getting more in shape. He's doing a lot of stuff in wrestling outside. He's doing his thing. So imagine
what
coming back.
Story that would be. Yeah,
exactly. Imagine putting him back at NXT, win the championship, whatever, or do something there to build himself back up, and then go to the main roster again. Have that triple threat match.
They all meet in the main roster again.
Yeah.
And who knows? Even if it's for a world title or even like a US title,
still be great. I wouldn't mind either way.
Exactly.
So I have Drew winning the Elimination Chamber match. I don't see anybody taking it off him.
Right.
I think it's his. Even though 2020 was his year, I think it's still going to happen until Mania. If anything, he'd probably lose it at Mania. I don't see him kind of being written off the World Championship picture before Mania again. Wow. So I think he's going to win. Who do you got, Joel? Did you say anybody? Yeah, or did you?
I'm gonna have to say Drew. Like I don't see him losing the title, like you said before Mania. Even though it could happen, I do think they're gonna do something with Wyatt and Randy. I don't know if we'll see him or if they'll do just do the light things again, or maybe like a video distract him. But I see him getting involved. Sheamus, I don't know what he's doing here. Sheamus, I feel like Jonah said it's gonna be the first one out. It's gonna be ironic that you got the last one to come out, but he's gonna be the first one out. And I think the last will be Drew, AJ, and Kofi. Kofi ended up getting eliminated. And then AJ getting help with interference. So you think AJ's going to win, but then it's Drew. Drew just overcomes that. And then he wins. And we'll also get a tease of a cash-in, I believe.
Hopefully. I mean, not at Chamber, but it'll be cool to see that.
No, I think he'll tease it right after. I think they'll come try and beat down Drew, but Drew will overcome it.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion. I do think Drew might lose before Mania, though.
Really?
Yes. Miz.
Oh, to Miz. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think the cash-in.
What would the Mania match be then?
I was gonna say have Drew McIntyre versus Edge.
No, I think I really think it's gonna be Edge and Roman.
Yeah, me too.
And then we'll get the Miz and McIntyre at Mania, with Miz winning with the help of Morrison. But I think there's a reason they made an extra pay-per-view. It's gonna be on the new streaming service Peacock. They got to do something big. And I think that's going to be the big thing. I think he's going to cash in.
Yeah, to make people want to see it. Right? Yeah, Fastlane. Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about it that way.
And then also, since there's nobody really
there
for him to fight. Like, I guess they're building up Sheamus, but like, do we really want to see McIntyre versus Sheamus at Mania?
Nah.
Both of you guys give me an answer.
I don't think so.
I really thought that, like, I was all for that match until they kind of started making it a Raw storyline, you know, and then it kind of lost its mystique to me. Like 2 months ago, that is what I wanted when I saw that they were kind of coming together. I was like, McIntyre and Sheamus at Mania, hell yeah, like this is awesome. I know they have history. Like this is going to be a great match. Love these guys. I see it at Mania. And then they kind of started playing it out over Raw. He turned on him. They did a whole video package. I'm like, oh, if this is worthy of Raw, which, you know, great, but it's I don't see Raw and Mania on the same level. So it would be lackluster now if Sheamus went all the way to Mania with Drew. I don't see that.
To be honest with me, Sheamus, I've just never have nothing against the guy. Just never really been a fan of his. Like, I respect all the ring work he does. When he did his heel work as a champion, it was great. Just, I don't think right now is the right time to have him and McIntyre, especially at Mania.
I was thinking because I was hoping for. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, but I was gonna say like I would want like Drew McIntyre versus Edge at Mania, so that way if Edge wins it, the Miz catches in directly after and make him a big heel again, because that will get everyone hated, because that's the first that's would be the first time the crowd's gonna be back since last year. And what way to piss everyone off when they're there is to have Edge win it and then get taken off of right after. That's gonna get a huge reaction, especially with the crowd at Mania, with the biggest crowd of the year. That's gonna be a big, like, loud reaction right there.
Do you want to hear a conspiracy I have?
Yeah.
About
I love your conspiracy.
Okay, Miz and McIntyre at Mania. Miz is gonna cash in at Fastlane, win the belt. He will lose at Mania. Let's say he loses at Mania. We have the main event, Roman and Edge. Edge gets his big Mania moment. He wins, raising the belt over his head. Let's say the cash-in doesn't happen at Fastlane. Let's say Miz just ends up winning a number one contender match. Ends up just like winning because of Morrison. He wins the belt. That's the big shock factor. Loses at Mania because of the rematch. Cashes in on Edge at the end of Mania. Greatest heel of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good theory.
That because it gives you the Seth Rollins vibe.
Yeah, it does.
But it's not really what they called it, the heist of the century.
Yeah.
But Edge already had won the match, and then you see him celebrating, the fireworks go off. You think that's how Mania's gonna end. You got the confetti or whatever coming down.
Miz,
and then you even, as WWE, you even put it on the bottom, like, you know,
exactly
the warning, like trademark thing, and then just from behind, just you see arms grabbing him, skull crushing finale, cashing.
Oh my god!
And then him just as him running up the ramp, you don't even get like a picture with him of the belt. Him and Morrison just running up the ramp, fade to black. That makes Raw, SmackDown must see, because now you don't know, because he's a Raw superstar. Will he show up on Raw? But he got the SmackDown belt.
Yeah, that is cool.
Wow.
That's my fantasy booking of the episode.
Yeah, and I could see that happening too. Like, I'm all for Miz. Like, the only thing, Miz's character is so strong. I think the thing that they did wrong, and that maybe they realized they did it wrong, or maybe we're thinking exactly like they want us to, is that they had Miz cash in during a TLC match.
Yeah,
that is not Miz at all. Like, number one, Miz, not a ladder, not a chairs, table guy. Number two, Miz doesn't cash in mid-match. Miz catches in after, when everyone's down.
Yeah,
like, that's Miz thing to do.
I get the reason for that. Maybe like they were trying to go for something where the Miz doesn't have to pin somebody. He just goes and grabs it, and that's it. Because that's all he has to do.
Yeah. I just think Miz cashing in on Edge is an incredible idea. And then him having a shirt that Friday, the Ultimate Opportunist, and you sell that merch, and the Miz becomes the new Ultimate Opportunist.
Exactly.
And then we get that all summer, Edge and Miz.
Wow.
Edge and Miz would be amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like it needs to be something safe for Edge, because, like, but by safe, I mean, like, you can't have Edge go against somebody like Cesaro, which although it's really cool,
Yeah.
you'd have a very one-sided reaction if Edge ever won. It'd be like, no, Cesaro, you should be putting Cesaro over. Cesaro, which you should be, but also it's like it's a good pairing to put him with someone like Miz, who's had his time, main evented WrestleMania, now has his what would that be, his second or third WWE championship and like world title. Like it makes sense. It's a very even playing field. And I think people would actually be rooting for Edge to win rather than being volatile and saying, like,
definitely,
definitely,
yeah.
So
it's the Miz, like
exactly.
He is really one of a kind and probably one of the best heels of our generation. Is like, he knows what to do to make us hate him. Absolutely,
exactly. Great. He's had that time already. He's had the experience. So might as well make us hate him even more.
I still think like because just watching wrestling throughout the years and watching old stuff back on the network, I don't think there was someone that you can hate more that like
he gets on your nerves. He gets under your skin.
He's kind of like the Roddy Piper of our era.
Yeah, exactly. He tried, like, don't get me wrong, he tried and scratched and clawed to get to where he is now, but that guy did not. He didn't bust his ass on the indies, so you don't really have that for him. Or am I wrong? Was he on the indies?
He was on Tough Enough. He went on. He was on Tough Enough, and then he went straight to WWE from there.
Yeah, I don't think he did indies.
So Miz doesn't exactly have that, like, appeal. Like when they made Daniel Bryan heel, or if they make Bryan heel, you're like, oh, but this guy tried. Not with him though. Or even somebody better like AJ. Like the work AJ put in. Miz did nothing in terms of that. So he just kind of reality star, worked a lot, now where he is. So it's cool. He has that connection piece with the crowd to be like, you can hate me, it's fine. Like I'm not an indie darling.
But that's also what brings it, that you're like, this was kind of like you just landed in this spot, like you didn't 100%. Work for it, and that's what makes people hate him so much.
Exactly.
And I think he works it to a T. Like when he tried to be a face and he was doing the figure 4 and stuff, like I remember at WrestleMania 29, he won in the pre-show and then lost the title the very next night. But it just didn't work, trying to be a babyface. Like him as a good guy just doesn't go.
Yeah.
There's certain guys that you can't. There's certain guys that are good as heels and should never be a face, and then vice versa. I think we've talked about this because I always say that about Rollins. Rollins should not be a face. He's a great heel. And I think Miz is at the top of that list.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think Corbin is there too. I don't see Corbin as like not as good as a heel, but like when I see Miz, I hate him, but like I know that I'm playing into like watching wrestling. Corbin sometimes comes out and I'm like, okay, Corbin. Like I'm always happy to see Miz because I know I'm going to get entertained. Corbin is the perfect heel for like, you see him come out. I don't want to say the term like X-Pac heat because like I don't genuinely hate Corbin. Corbin's a good worker, but I love to hate Miz more, and that's something all wrestling fans understand. When you say that.
Corbin, I think, is like, I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for the in-ring work.
Oh, definitely.
No, he does not. Honestly, Corbin and Damian Priest is a really cool match.
Yes.
That is a match I want to see. Different brands right now, but eventually that's
I didn't even think of that match.
Yeah, that would be a great match. Yeah. Two big guys
going at it. See for a while. Yeah. And they're big guys, but they both have their own unique style. Like I feel like Corbin was the Priest of NXT before Priest showed up the heel. He wasn't exactly, he was like a tweener in NXT. Kind of just like a Taker vibes, just putting guys really quick and leaving.
That is true. They kind of have like the same vibe too.
Yeah. I didn't think about that just now. I didn't think about that. That's true. I would love to see that as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. That was the last match of the card, so I guess we just wrap it up from there.
That's a real short card.
Yeah, that was only 4 matches.
A really short card.
I mean, again, maybe they're trying.
It's still a Friday. SmackDown's happening tonight. We just record on a Friday, so we could see one or two more matches.
Well, Big E's not in the chamber. It'd be weird if Big E just didn't defend the title.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be like against Apollo Crews or something.
They've been building that up.
Yeah.
So, honestly, it may not be listed, but I'm sure we're going to have like some breather matches. Because think about it, we're probably going to start with the chamber, like the way they've been doing things. Or maybe we start with the women's belt, and then we go to a chamber, and then we go to Lashley, Riddle, and them, and then another chamber. Nah, I don't know. I kind of want more matches. I want like one more match.
Because we've always spoke about how like they usually like to add matches the day of,
exactly,
directly before. So we don't know. It may happen the day of the Elimination Chamber. So we don't know.
Like they might throw like a tag team title match in there, or just a regular tag team match.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't mind, but What happened?
Who are the tag champs right now?
Right now, SmackDown is
Rude and Ziggler.
Yeah,
Rude and Ziggler, then Cedric Alexander and Rude. And
have they really been doing anything? Ziggler?
I don't think so.
They won it like not too long ago, so I don't think they have much to work with at the moment. They don't have much tag teams anyways. So
that's another story.
Like, I don't want to go too much about topic, but one thing I want to see happen is Breezango getting called up to SmackDown.
Yeah,
that match that can have a story. Yeah, they can have a story. You know, I think Tyler Breeze and Dolph Ziggler have a history. That could be something built off there. I think when Tyler Breeze first debuted on the main roster, Ziggler was his first feud, like many other NXT stars. But they could have like a history on that part. So that would be a match I would love to see, a new, fresh tag team, more tag teams on the main roster, someone else winning it. I love Rude and Ziggler as a tag team. I'm not opposed to them being a tag team, but I think it'd be more and better off with someone else, like fresh and new.
Shocked that they're tag champs. I'm not opposed to them being a tag team, but I'm really genuinely shocked that they won the title.
Yeah, same here. Like, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I think I thought Bobby Roode was a lost cause after what he's been through, which that was depressing, but he's doing they're trying to do something with him now. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, at least he's still in the picture of some sort. I mean, it's better off not happening anywhere.
Somewhat.
I honestly didn't even know they were the tag champs, and I watched, as much as I can.
Yeah, I think they just won like 2, like right before Rumble.
Yeah.
I remember, I mean, now that you're saying it, I remember hearing they won, but did they win on a SmackDown?
Yeah. That's why it wasn't like
a big thing.
And they haven't really promoted them.
Really. I barely see them.
I don't see them on social media or anything, like Rude and Ziggler as champs. Do they even have like a tag name? It's just Rude and Ziggler. I know they have that finish.
The Dirty
Spine
Dogs.
Buster into the zigzag.
That's a cool finisher. But did they call themselves the Dirty Dogs? That's what they have on their shirts. I don't know if that's like
I don't know who came up with that. But that's the name of the team.
That's the name. So that then I think it's her business, the Raw Tag Team champions.
And them I actually like. They put on a clinic with New Day at what pay-per-view am I thinking of? Was it Rumble?
TLC.
Or was it TLC?
I think it was TLC when they won it.
It was literally like a 10-minute match, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah. It might have been a Raw. I'm not sure. It might have been a Raw.
Just her business all around is just incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like that's why I say just give them all the belts.
Yeah.
Make my guy Lashley double champ. Let it happen. Like
he's there. I want to see Lashley and Brock. I heard a rumor somewhere that it's in Lashley's contract or something that he wants to have a match with Lesnar.
He should. And he should.
You guys hear that? Yeah, he absolutely should.
Yeah. That would be. That's a match that I feel everybody wants to see.
Exactly.
That like right when Lashley signed and came back, it was like we're finally gonna get this match, and then
never happened.
Nothing. Yeah, like nothing ever came of it.
Yeah.
I think why Lashley wouldn't want, or Brock wouldn't want to do it too. Like that's why wouldn't Brock want to fight Lashley?
Exactly.
I feel like that's a great match.
Yeah.
He wants to fight. Like Brock's a fighter, and that's a good fight.
And so was Lashley, and both of them together.
And you could even put that. What they call that in NXT, the
fight
pit?
The fight pit?
Yeah, put them in that.
Yeah.
You don't even need a title involved, and that will come on. That's must see.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess we could wrap it up there. Before we end up the episode, do you want to tell people, Jonah, where they can find you, where they can listen to you, where they can find anything?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let them know.
Plug this. So we are Rewind Recap Relive, and we have a legend and a rising star each week. We've had guys like Jake the Snake and Teddy Long, and we've had Blue Meanie, we've had Raven, and then on the flip side, we have rising stars you may not have heard of yet, but after the episode you will, or maybe you have heard of them. We've had guys like Sky Blue out of Chicago. We've had Nacho Clown out of Chicago as well. We've had Philly Mike Swanson, Tony Cheney. We've had the current Lariato Pro champion, Bryce Cannon. We've had current Lariato Pro champion, Bryce Cannon, and just a lot of great guys on the show. So go check us out at Rewind Recap Relive on YouTube, at R3 Jonah on Twitter, Rewind Recap Relive on Instagram. We just got on that app Clubhouse. I see a lot of people going towards. Are you guys on that yet?
No, I never knew about that app before. So I'll check that out later. Yeah.
It's like floating around. I see a lot of pages like hopping on it. But yeah, Clubhouse, if you want, at R3 Jonah. But yeah, we've got tons of great videos, interviews, giveaways. We partnered with Wrestling Pins here, as you can see, a nice pin. So that's our sponsor. We give giveaways, pins each week. You could use a promo code RRR15 off. Get yourself some money when you save some pins. And yeah, that's it.
Definitely, yeah. So I'll leave the link to his YouTube channel in the description of this episode, so you can guys go subscribe to him and let's do his interviews and his podcast. Thank you again, Jonah, for coming on. We had a great time, great conversation here on the Ring Fanatics Podcast.
Awesome time. Yeah.
Glad to have you on, man.
Thank you.
Definitely looking forward to having you back soon. Once again, this is Nick, your host. With me is Joel, my co-host. This has been episode number 23 of the Ring Fanatics Podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.
Catch you.
Thank you.